Alright, good afternoon. My name is Marshall. We're going to be doing a spot of canoeing today. Alright, so first things first, we're going to be making sure you're nice and safe. Alright, so we're going to get on a buoyancy aid and helmet. So here's our buoyancy aid. What we're going to do is put this on over our top. We're going to have acorn at the front and we have 4 straps and you're going to pull them all nice and tight, working from the bottom upwards. Okay, so you're going to make sure you pull nice and tight and then you're going to finish off with your shoulder straps, pulling them like ripcords. Okay, next thing, we're going to grab our helmet. We're going to put this on our noggin, but what we can do is we can adjust it with this little strap at the back to fit to your size of head. Okay, and then you're going to do up the chin strap. Okay, so we'll give you that. Whee! Fantastic. Alright, so we'll check over them before we go in the water. So what we're going to do is we're going to either grab a friend or try yourself. You're going to grab your straps and you're going to try pull it up over your head. If it doesn't come off, that's correct. Alright, if it goes up, you want to go up with it. And with your helmet, what we're going to do is we're going to pretend we're at a heavy metal concert, do a bit of head banging, make sure it doesn't wobble off our head. And with the chin strap, we're going to make sure you can't pull it up over your chin. If it does, just tighten it a little bit more. Fantastic. Alright, let's have a look at the canoe we're going to use today. So, this is a nice standard canoe. We're going to be in tandem today, which means 2 people in a boat. So you want to find someone that you don't mind arguing with. Alright, fantastic. So, there's 2 seats here, you can see. Can you tell me where the front or the back is? Any ideas?
Is that the front? The leg space?
Yes, indeed, that's exactly it. Because if you're sitting on the seat here, you've got room for your legs there. If you look at the back there, there's no room. So you'll both be facing the same way. So you're going to be paddling on opposite sides. So what happens if you paddle on the same side?
Go around in a big circle?
Yep, you'll be going around in a circle. So that might be fun for about 15 minutes, but you get pretty bored of that. So we want to be able to get to where we want to go. So paddling. We have our paddle here. Okay, this is the paddle. You'll notice this bit looks a bit like a T. It's a magically named T grip. Okay, so what you want to do is put your hand on top of it, high-fiving it, top, curl your thumb round and your fingers so you've got hold of that T grip. Alright, now remember, what else does it look like?
Kind of like a hammer.
Yeah, exactly. So we don't want to be waving around hammers and boats, so we want to keep our hand on top of that at all times. With your other hand, you're bringing it across your body, popping it on, knuckles facing the sky. Alright, now any ideas how we can paddle forward?
Do you put the paddle in at your toes?
Pretty much. If you imagine your feet are in front of you.
Push the forwards?
Yep. When your feet are in front of you, you'll be going toe to your bum. Bringing it out of the water, toe to bum. Okay, you don't need to do big windmills. Alright, just enough to get it in the water and just out. Just like so. Very simple. So can anyone tell me how we're going backwards?
I guess it's the opposite?
It is indeed. So bum to toe. So that's us going backwards. So let's see you doing backwards there. Lovely. Okay, now how do we think we can turn?
Would you both paddle on the same side but really fast?
But that's not very effective. So if you imagine you're both on opposite sides like I said, so one of you could go forwards and one of you could go backwards and that'll turn you pretty much on the spot, rotating around that canoe there. Okay, a couple of seconds then before we go on. Okay, so if you think about it, you could end up in the water. They're pretty stable, but the only way you're going to end up in the water is pretty much if you stand up and jump out, or indeed, if you both happen to lean to the same side, probably going to go over. You end up in the water. Now if you do, no need to panic, because you've got your buoyancy aid on. It's going to keep you nice and safe. Alright, you might just look a little bit silly and a little bit wet, and we'll probably have a laugh at you. Alright, but we will make sure you are nice and safe. Alright, yes, you have a question.
What happens if our boat flips over?
If your boat flips over, well, have you ever seen Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, fantastic. It's just going to be like that. So, if you're in a dark space, you're underneath the boat, okay? You will have an air pocket to breathe, so you'll be absolutely fine. You'll be pretty much walking along with it on top of your head. Way to get out, just lift it up, and you're out. And you're popped to the surface, and we'll fish you on out, okay? If you need to, you can get in yourself, if you can manage, with your friend, get to the middle of the boat, and they can pull you up by your buoyancy aid. Obviously, don't grab them, because you'll end up pulling them in. And then you'll both be wet, and then I'm going to have to come and get you. Alright, now, it might be a little bit cold because it is Wales, but it's a lovely day today, nice and warm, so we can have a bit of a laugh on the water, okay? So we can probably play some fun games after we figure out how to paddle. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to get on the water, have a little practice going forwards, backwards, and turning that boat, and then we'll probably go on a little journey. Okay, any questions?
I don't think so. Let's get on the water.
Fantastic, let's go.